With the World Cup less than 8 months away, the eyes of the world will soon be on South America. As football's biggest party descends on the cities, towns and beaches of Brazil, and with brand new stadiums springing up all over the country, you'd think domestic Brazilian club football would be experiencing a huge buzz. In reality, however, football in Brazil is not in a good state. Just last week, players stood still with their arms crossed for several minutes after kickoff. It was a simple act of protest aimed at fixture congestion because of the World Cup, but it hinted at deeper issues within the game. And the discontent is not confined to events on the pitch either.
Well, in my opinion, the problems with Brazilian football right now are ticket prices, fixture congestions, violence and attendance.
Attendances have been dropping recently, and the figures appear to show that ordinary Brazilians are falling out of love with the beautiful game.
Brazilian football attracts less people to the stadium than the MLS, for example. And while that's not a slight on the MLS, Brazilians would see their league as, a step or two above that, given the tradition for football in the country. Certainly with the shiny new World Cup stadiums with 70,000 seats, the empty seats are becoming more and more visible.
The main reason causing fans to stay away appears to be simple economics. The cost of watching a match is just far too high.
Brazil is still a developing country, and the average wage over there is something in the region of around £100 a week. And if you consider that when Flamengo recently played at home against Atlético Mineiro, and Ronaldinho, of course, was a big selling point for that game, they charged £46 just for one ticket. It just doesn't add up.
With prices sky high, fans also face the prospect of following their team across a long and grueling season, involving a huge number of games.
Teams in Brazil just have too many games to play, 70 to 75 games a season. They can take part in as many as 5 competitions. It's just an absurd number, and players struggle to keep up their consistency from a mental level to a physical level. Clubs
spend an inordinate amount of time during the year playing in state championships, which are the traditional heartlands of the Brazilian game, if you will. I mean, that runs from January through to May, which is almost half of the football calendar. As a result, the National League is then squished into a shorter time. Clubs are playing midweek, weekend, midweek, weekend. Then they try and fit in cup competition around that. They've got 2 continental competitions. The league doesn't stop for Brazil matches, so clubs lose their star players often to the manager's great frustration.
Fans are frustrated, and what the authorities fear most is a repeat of the violence seen on Brazilian streets during the summer.
Historically, Brazilian fans are known to be quite fun-loving, but that really wasn't the case at the Confederations Cup. I was over there covering the tournament, and I saw how some of the protests turned violent. And what I hope is that a lot of these protesters won't use the World Cup again as a stage to demonstrate some of the social and economic problems that the country has.
With Brazilian football currently on its knees and the World Cup fast approaching, there are concerns the game could well struggle to find its feet before the world descends on South America in 2014.